Romford Manor stood on a lonely hill. It was a dark and imposing structure, old, decaying, and utterly silent. The trees surrounding it were gnarled and dead. Wind whispered secrets through its broken window panes. It looked truly evil, a place of nightmares. Local people always stayed far away. They were deeply scared of the tales. The house just waited, patiently, in the gloom. Alex was a dedicated paranormal investigator. He had heard all the chilling stories, the dark, terrifying tales of Romford Manor. He desperately wanted to know the real truth. Was it genuinely haunted by spirits? Or was it just an old, scary, abandoned house? He felt compelled to find out for himself. He was not a man who was easily frightened. His curiosity outweighed any potential fear. He walked slowly towards the massive front door. It was constructed of heavy, dark wood. The wood felt cold and damp to his touch. He pushed hard against its unyielding surface. It groaned open with a reluctant, deep sound. A sudden blast of icy air hit his face. The inside of the house was pitch black, utterly, unnervingly silent. Far too silent for comfort. It felt like the house held its breath. Dust covered every single surface inside. Thick cobwebs hung like ghostly, tattered curtains. The once grand furniture was now broken. It was rotting away slowly in the darkness. A pervasive smell of old, decaying things. And something else, something faintly rotten. Alex distinctly felt unseen eyes watching him. He knew with certainty he was not alone. The air was thick, heavy, and oppressive. Alex carefully began to set up his gear. A video camera on a small tripod, an audio recorder to capture any sounds. He spoke softly into the oppressive darkness. "Is anyone here with me?" he asked. His voice seemed to echo in the vast space. Then the profound silence returned, heavier than before. A heavy, watching, waiting kind of silence. He stood still, listening intently, and waited. A floorboard creaked loudly from upstairs. It was a soft, hesitant sound at first. Then came a whisper, almost inaudible. So faint, he could not make out the words. A moving cold spot drifted slowly past him. Goosebumps rose sharply on his arms and neck. The air in the room grew noticeably heavier. Something was definitely here with him now. He could feel its presence acutely. He continued to explore the ground floor rooms. A large, empty, and decaying ballroom. Its once sparkling chandeliers were draped in cobwebs. In the dusty library, old books lay fallen. An old, faded portrait hung crooked on one wall. Its painted eyes seemed to follow his every move. He shivered involuntarily despite his resolve. This place was deeply, profoundly creepy. He felt a prickle of genuine fear. A loud, sudden crash echoed from the kitchen. Alex jumped, his heart pounding in his chest. He ran quickly towards the disturbing sound. Nothing in the kitchen seemed disturbed or moved, but a single chipped teacup sat on the floor. It was in the very center of the room. It was definitely not there just moments before. Someone, or perhaps something, had moved it. He was absolutely sure of this fact. Alex made his way to the main staircase. He began to climb the creaking wooden stairs. They moaned and groaned under his weight. Each upward step felt like a huge effort. The air around him got colder, then colder still. He held his powerful flashlight very tight. Its bright beam cut through the deep darkness. A growing, insidious fear pricked at him. He tried to push the feeling away. He found what looked like a child's room. A small wooden rocking horse moved slightly, back and forth, slowly. There was no wind, no logical reason for it. A delicate music box sat on a dusty shelf. It began to play a sad, tiny, haunting song. It stopped abruptly the moment he fully entered. He felt a cold chill run down his spine. This was not natural, not normal at all. The master bedroom was unexpectedly large and grand. It was also intensely cold and unwelcoming. He found an old, leather-bound diary there. It was hidden carefully under a loose floorboard. The diary belonged to Alara Romford, he read. She was the last known owner of the manor. Her written words were shaky, desperate, and hurried, filled with an overwhelming, palpable sense of fear. She wrote constantly of threatening dark shadows, The diary spoke of a terrifying, unseen presence, an ancient, malevolent thing living in the house. It had slowly, cruelly driven Alara to madness. She feared it more than anything in the world. It wanted more than just the physical house, and it wanted something more from its occupants. It wanted a new person. It desired a new voice. Alara's final entries were frantic, almost illegible. She was utterly terrified of its intentions. The old diary told of a hidden, secret room. Alex returned to the library to search. Behind a tall, imposing wooden bookshelf, he looked. He found it. A narrow, concealed doorway. The door creaked open with a protesting groan. Inside the small room, it was freezing cold. Strange, unsettling symbols were carved on the walls. They seemed to pulse with a faint, dark light. The air was thick with an ancient malice. Suddenly, without any warning, his camera died. His sensitive audio recorder went completely silent. The bright beam of his flashlight flickered wildly. Then it went out, plunging him into darkness. Complete, disorienting, and blinding blackness engulfed him. A low, guttural growl echoed all around him. It sounded close, far too close for comfort. He felt hot, fetid breath on the back of his neck. Pure, unadulterated terror finally seized him. He stumbled blindly backwards, desperate to escape. He tried to run, to flee the suffocating room. The unseen presence was right there with him. It was chasing him through the darkened house. Doors slammed violently shut in his path. Objects flew through the air, smashing around him. The entire house was alive, and it was furious. He screamed out loud, a raw, helpless sound. He had to get out of Romford Manor, now. He threw his entire body at the front door. It burst open with a splintering crack. He ran headlong into the dark, cold night. He did not dare to stop running. Days later, another paranormal investigator came. They were drawn by the same dark legends. They found Alex's discarded, broken equipment, and Alara's old diary, open on a table, a new entry in fresh ink. In Alex's handwriting, it needed a new voice. Now it has one.